J Radio Show.
What's going on?
It's good, my guy.
Oh man, everything. Let me get that off the screen. Oh man, yeah, man. How was your week, man?
That was a pretty good week. A lot more relaxed. I see you got that Seminole wear going on.
I think they won, man. About time, huh?
Oh man, this has
Think
been
they
a
won.
heck of a year for Florida State.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I thought they was winning. I remember a couple years ago they was in contention for the national titles, right?
They're trash now. What you talking about, man?
Oh man,
They trash, but I mean, people still support them, man. Let me see. They beat Miami 31-28 last week, but Miami trash too. It's
I mean,
different, man.
was this the U or was this Miami of Ohio?
Miami U.
Hmm.
They're trash too. Oh yeah, let me fix that. Kwame don't like when you call athletes trash, huh? But yeah, they're not that good. They're not that good. Oh man, yeah. Um yeah, but I didn't get a chance to watch any football. Give me a second, man. It's kind of warm down here, man. Let me turn this air on. Give me a second. Hold on.
You people with that. It's always warm down there. What you talking about?
No,
Then y'all start
warm.
talking about it's cold when it's like 60 degrees.
Yeah, you're right, but it's a little warm in here. Hold on.
Yeah, so yeah, it's all good. You know, in the sporting world, of course, we had a little bit of MMA going on this weekend anyway. Now, an interesting thing that I saw, and I don't know if any of you guys had seen it. Canelo Alvarez started talking about, he fought Floyd Mayweather. He lost fair and square, but he started talking like man, Floyd goes and fights people that are before their prime or after their prime. You know, he had a little diss. I don't know if you heard that, Ron, about Canelo.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he was talking about Floyd saying that he fights people before their prime or after their prime.
Man, he just mad because he took that L.
Mm.
He took that L.
He's like, he won't fight me again. I'm sitting there like basically you doing the same thing. You trying to fight Floyd. How old is he? Like 45?
No, yeah, about 44 or something like that. Man, look, he's scared to fight Charlo. Look him up. The Charlo brothers from Michigan, ducking him.
Wow.
So he's doing the same thing.
Floyd like the same age as Brady, probably. He probably older than Brady.
Right. Man, I think I was warm because of I got these lights over. These lights are just overbearing, man. Woof.
It's about to say you ain't over here having heat flashes, are you?
Nah, man, but it was a little warm, man.
I'll say it ain't that time of the month, is it?
Nah. Shots fired. Yeah, man. But as far as what you talking about? The boxing, man. Dude beat 16 champions. I'm talking about Floyd Mayweather. 16 champions. He beat more champions than any other boxer ever. Even Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson. He was the baddest man alive, but I think he lost. He won 75 fights before he lost one. But he ain't fighting too many champions, man. Nothing that I'm not trying to take down his career, but you have to. He beat everybody that was in this era, man. Everybody had their shot. You remember we went to where were we at? We were like high rollers, watching that De La Hoya and Mayweather fight. I think that's who was fighting.
Eating them crab legs.
Shout out to high rollers if anybody know anything about that at Homestead. Yeah, we was down there He beat everybody. He beat Mosley. You know, he beat Canelo. He beat Pacquiao. I think he would have beat Pacquiao any era, any time because Pacquiao's just too small.
Right.
He's 5'6", man.
I'm saying like Canelo, you know he's a light heavyweight now. So
Really? No, he ain't.
uh-huh.
No.
I think that's he I
He's
don't know.
155. I think.
He's fighting light heavyweight. I'm telling you.
How much is light heavyweight? That's 40 pounds, ain't it?
It's I think it's what 175, right?
Let's see. Hey, anybody who watching it, man, if you know anything about boxing, school us here, man. What's light heavyweight? Let's see. Let's find out. I know he ain't going up that much weight. He need to fight Charlo before he go anywhere. Charlo at 160, I think. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, okay. It says between 165 and 178.
Yeah, they got him 168. He's about to fight a let's see, who's that? I can't say this name, but Ilunga Makaba or Ilunga. I don't know. I've been out of the game with boxing.
That's a cruiserweight title.
Oh, okay.
So light heavy was like Roy Jones Jr., right?
Yeah, that's for the cruiserweight. But yeah, but I think he was going light heavyweight, 175.
No, he wasn't. There's no way
he
was
fought
fighting at that.
Sergey Kovalev for he has the light heavyweight title.
Was that the last fight he fought?
It just says once, but
he need to fight Charlo brothers, man. Shout out to them.
You're running, ducking and hiding.
Yeah. See, he doing the same thing. Why you gonna go that far up? Once there's fights at 160, you know. And he's a short dude, ain't he? I think he's what are you like 5'8"? Canelo?
I don't know. All them dudes are short to me. I don't even, when you below 6 foot, I don't even pay attention to your height.
Ooh, shots fired. They will knock you the heck out.
Oh man, I'd be like this. You see these hands? Hold on. You see these?
Man, they hit you in your gut.
Here.
You be bleeding. You be spitting out blood, man.
I don't just fight with hands. I give that front kick.
Then you'll be kicked out the boxing federation. Okay, Tyson.
Oh man, just like I know my kung fu teacher, he used to say, like, when you hit that front kick, you basically tell him to kneel before Zod.
I want to see you spar, man. I want to see you actually getting into the ring. You still get down?
I haven't sparred in about 5 years.
Why don't you come down here and spar my my son Sensei? Come down here, man. I'll put the money up. I'll put the travel up. Matter of fact, my older son do jiu-jitsu, man. Why don't you come down to a class down here?
Nah, I'm good, man. I ain't getting all that rats stuff.
You ain't tussling. They were like, get on your back. You're like, you ain't never getting up off that back, man. I'm back quick, cuz. Let up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Al Bundy, man, he's a black belt.
Really?
Yeah, he started in his 40s.
Huh.
Yeah, he about 70 something now, but yeah, he said he started in his 40s.
Wow. That's amazing. I didn't know that he actually was balling in football.
In real life. Yeah, the Al Bundy, man. Al Bundy syndrome, I call people. That's my little thing. A lot of people got the Al Bundy syndrome. They keep talking about what they did in high school.
Oh man, shots fired.
What they did in college, right? Like, Man, you ain't played so long. We forgot that you played, man. Back up, But yeah, he played for the he played for the Steelers for like 1 year. Got cut.
Talking about Ed O'Neill, guys. Y'all can look it up. Ed O'Neill. Al Bundy played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
A lot of those actors who couldn't make it there end up acting. What's the one dude? The dude that played John Amos, I think his name was, on Good Times.
He played football?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He ain't make it. But he got a tryout in the NFL. And what's the other dude? Apollo Creed.
Okay. Carl Weathers.
Yeah, he played. You ever watch what's that show called? Police Academy. Bubba on Police Academy, he played football.
Which one? Which one is Bubba?
The big dude with the mustache. He always was like throwing people out, picking cars up and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he played.
And a lot of these dudes became actors, and wow, it's interesting because one of the greatest, actors of our day right now. I mean, whether you like his movies or not, that's a whole different story. But Dwayne Johnson, he's doing his thing.
Look, man, he's the greatest wrestler of all times. I don't care what nobody say. I might have to play a clip of him, man, after a while. But he is the greatest wrestler of all times.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I don't know if he made it to NFL. I know he was doing his thing at the U.
No, he ain't make it. He ain't do his thing at the U.
He was doing all right. I mean,
no, he didn't.
Listen, Warren, he wasn't there the whole time.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. And then a wrestling term. No, man, he was trash. He was trash, man. I remember they played Pitt in like '94. He came down here. He came to Pittsburgh.
Oh man, fanny pack and all, huh?
And what's his? Oh yeah, and I think Curtis Martin ran like 200 yards on him, right through his hole. What you say about that? Shout out to Homewood.
Yeah, it's a different type of running when you're running, coming out the hood,
What I heard this. I was on social media today, man. Somebody was? I saw a post that said that the top running back for Still Valley got hurt, and they said it may be intentional. Was that what you hear about that?
Yeah, and that was actually sad. I believe that when that happened, I think the play might have been over. I didn't see it. I was just reading about it. The wording in the headlines say that he was getting targeted. Like this dude was balling. He was leading the Whippules. For those who aren't in Pittsburgh or who aren't in Pennsylvania watching, the Whippules are that's the high school football league for Western Pennsylvania. And yeah, young man Najee Burke, I believe. He was balling all year, number one running back, and somewhere along the line, he ended up possibly getting targeted. I don't know. I wasn't at the game. I was just reading the article.
Well, if it's true, I think that the coaching staff should be banned from Whiphill if that's true. You know what I mean? Because they saw what was going on. If that's true, they should do a complete investigation. Because what if that mess up his career?
Right. Yeah, and it's a shame because in that sport, it unfortunately happens at different levels. That reminds me of that's like sweep the leg off of Karate Kid or whatever. But that unfortunately happens in real life. You have haters, people that see you doing well and they don't want to see you doing well, so they hate. And that kind of segues into one of the main topics of tonight, that we're going to talk about in regards to Young Dolph getting shot and killed in his own hometown. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. And then also let me just look at what we got here on the menu.
Did you hear about this right here? 2 men convicted of killing Malcolm X will be exonerated. I gotta fix that decades later.
Yeah, I saw about that. That's interesting. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Yeah, I might have to pull that article up. Also, in the news, Biden says spending bill will slow inflation. I know you know a lot about inflation, so I figure we kind of school us on economics, if you will.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that. I've been talking about that the last couple days because you know what kind of bothers me about that though is that people either don't know or people don't care.
Yep.
One or the other. And I think that for the most part, I think it's people that don't. I think it's people that don't know what they're talking about, so therefore they don't care.
Right.
I hear people talk about like, hey, well, the inflation is because of this and that, and realistically, and I'm not going. We'll wait till we get into that segment, but it's been going on for a long time. This isn't a Cody pandemic, only thing. This is stuff that's been going on and it's been bound to happen.
Yeah, I think I think that they're trying to prepare us for inflation. So they're saying, "Oh, it's actually a good thing," and this, that, and the other, because they're not going to be able to turn that around, in my opinion, because they printed so much money in the last 12 months. They printed 40% of our income in 245 years of America being here. We printed 40% of our income in 12 months. So it's just waiting for a disaster to actually happen. See, people on social media, they're like basically saying they're not feeling it. I think I saw somebody on your post basically said if you're not making over 400,000, it won't affect you. I don't know if you responded to them on one of your posts that you put out.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't really know what to make of it. The gentleman said he's been in banking. I believe he's still in banking. So my assumption was that he was more so just being facetious about it. I didn't actually reach out to him, about it. So, but if that is the case, if he were serious, I would say that it doesn't matter. Look at everything right now. Everyone who's not making $400,000 a year, raise your hand. And everybody who's not making $400,000 a year, is your gas higher? Is
Right.
the fight? I keep talking about this, but the price of chicken wings are higher. You can't even find no chicken wings. And it's not just that. Yeah, there are things related to the supply and demand curve, but the fact of the matter is that whenever you have a certain amount of money and you just start adding more money into the system, then it's automatically going to deplete the value of the money. Same thing, you guys, if anyone ever saw The Social Network, one of the things that happened on there that happened with Facebook while it was in the beginning stages is that people were mad because they felt like what's his name, Zuckerberg, had diluted their shares. They had their shares, and what happened was, he ended up somehow like making more volume available, and it ended up diluting the power of their shares. Well, that's the same thing that ends up happening with the money. When you start printing more and more money, it ends up diluting the power of what the original money was able to buy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, man. But so, can you pull up an article with Young Dolph in this start talking about it? You got an article up, or
Give me one
basically what
second.
happened? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, man. I actually started getting into his music recently, man. It's pretty good. I mean, not recently, but like maybe like last year. I got a couple things on my workout mix, if you will, and I know he did some songs with what's her name? What's Megan Thee Stallion and all these other people. But I thought it was interesting because everybody want to be some type of king. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like, "Oh, I'm a king. I'm a king." You remember when T.I. was like, "I'm the king of the South," and they're really taking this stuff serious. Now, I don't know exactly what happened. We'll see when more details come out with Young Dolph. But Memphis, they've been saying like trying to take over the territory. Like I'm the king. I'm the king. I know young what's his name? Yo Gotti was one of them. 3 6 Mafia used to say they were the king. I'm going to play a video once you pull it up.
Yeah, and remember, guys, that a lot of this is preliminary information. I'm gonna just share it on the screen real quick with you guys.
Allegedly.
So,
well, he is dead, but good.
Yeah, all that to say, yeah, he is dead. Unfortunately, but I'm just saying to say that the information, the details are probably going to change. That's usually the nature of these news stories, especially whenever we're just getting it breaking. But all right, there we go. But you guys can see on there, and this is from multiple sources. He actually got killed while he was going into a store to buy cookies. Now, the crazy thing about this is it kind of reminds me of when Nipsey Hussle, same thing. Only thing it was his store, it was Nipsey's store. But this store here, Makita's Butters and Cookies, was a store that he was supporting. I think that like a week ago, he was actually on social media, just shouting them out, which that's definitely, a good thing whenever you're in a higher status or whenever you have more influence to be able to shout out the people that you're supporting because you can bring more attention to that place. Only downside is that in this situation, it may have brought attention to him, being there. And maybe he said he was going to be there in the future. There's nothing wrong with saying where you're going to be, depending on the type of place that you are going into. I'm gonna stick to the news story real quick before we talk, more about that. But it says it was, I believe it was around 3 p.m. They're saying it was senseless, of course. A car, yeah. So this was someone who had drove up. Now it doesn't specify whether he had actually came into the store or if this was just a straight up drive by. So I'd imagine that information is going to end up coming up in the future. Here's a little bit of a clip. You want me to play this?
I'll play the clip. I got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. But Ronald played that. That's from him, supporting at that store. Like I said, just a week ago.
It was all good just a week ago.
Man. Yeah, they were saying that he was doing some things within the community. He was doing like turkey giveaways. Let's see. Yeah, yep, right there. Handing out turkeys on Thanksgiving in Memphis. Through a charity, speaking to school children, donating money to his former high school.
Look, man, you gotta get out of there, man. You gotta get out your hood. I'm gonna play that video what you're talking about when he went up to his favorite place. Somebody was saying that he was buying cookies for his mom or something last week or this week. I don't remember, or maybe it was last week. But I'll play that video that you're referring to.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me make sure this is it.
And meanwhile, what's going on, Swanee?
Makita cook. Get the side. Come back around there.
These right here.
What you got? Chocolate chip. Don't hot.
Straight out the
just for you. Appreciate you, baby. Be safe.
Also, I got this clip, and I just wanted to kind of show where he was living in like his upbringing a little bit. I know he was talking about his grandmother one time, and because he was a bad kid, if you will. Um, Mom and dad was on drugs. Growing up in Memphis, and he was raised with his grandmother, like most black boys and girls raised with their grandmother. And his grandmother was like the only one that can actually influence him, tell him to get out the streets or whatever. But he was still doing stuff, but he just didn't want her to know.
Bad. He wasn't no bad kid. He was just stayed in the stuff. He was always moving.
I knew what crack was when I was probably 5 years old, 6 years old, 4 years old, shit like that. Shit, first time I seen crack, like seeing this shit on my mom and dad drugs was like morning time when that motherfucker trying to get some money from them to go to school. You know how that shit be? Like, man, I need some money. I need like $2 or something to go to school. Look, see that shit, and I'm knowing, I knew what it was. I had cousins and shit. They cooking this shit. That was probably like the first introduction to me to drugs. You used to seeing everybody like zombies, like dope fiends, uncles, aunties, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? My parents, it was just some
Yeah, and this is when he was talking about his grandmother.
Like about this time, that when I started, I got jumped in the street. I was doing little bullshit and shit. My whole thing was though, I was like, I never want my grandma to know. I just have shit outside around the house. I go from the side of the house over there and jump the gate and run in and out the eye of the house, right? Man, I go jump the gate one day, go in the eye of the house. I got some shorts on. The dog started barking. I'm like, why she barking? Grandma coming out the back door back here. I turn around, grandma right there. I'm trying to stuff all this shit in my pants, but I got on shorts, and this shit hit straight to the floor. She just started yelling and screaming. She the only person I really ever cared about what she say, what she think about me, just in and everything. You know what I mean? I ain't never want to let her down. I ain't never want that shit to be in her mind about me. This shit just made me cry. You know what I'm saying? Cause my grandma seeing this shit, like, I'm like, man.
Yeah, man. I don't understand why these people don't get out their neighborhood, man. You remember Mo 3 got killed? He was around his neighborhood, and a lot of times, we'll see what happens, but a lot of people die over women. Like women set them up. Like Mo 3 was set up by a woman. This is him rolling in the hood.
I remember they first got security in the hood. Niggas ran them boys' ass. I was like, niggas was shooting at their ass. They couldn't even stay over here. They was like, hell no. My first time getting some pussy was that apartment right there. When I was 11, she was 14. She carried them over the road, man. Took them over. I was like, damn, she for real. All right, that was hood like a movie. This shit wasn't like no other hood, I swear to God. Cause you got 50 young niggas clicking up and getting together every day, playing basketball on the streets, or going to the gym, or coming around here playing, or even playing football. Then you got all these young niggas who big brothers and big cousins. It's just, you know what I'm saying, like the dope boys and running the hood and niggas' daddies and niggas, like everybody know everybody. So it's just like was a big ass family over here.
Man. Bring back memories, man. You gotta get out of them hoods, man. You can't save them, man. You can't save the people in the hood, man. You can't think about you going to keep it real. You should not have been there. You think Jay-Z going back to Marcy?
Never.
Yeah, okay. Only people in the hood right now that I know of that hopefully nothing happened to them is the Locks. Because Styles P got some businesses in the neighborhood. He got those juice shops, Fat Joe don't even go back. Much as he talk about Fat Joe's in Miami, he ain't playing around.
Yeah, it's and it's a sad, situation in regards to it happening. You don't wish for, death for anyone, but at some point, like we have to get away from this stuff, whatever it's called, keeping it real, whatever. A lot of times that's not reality, And a lot of people, unfortunately, they think that it is, but it's not. I mean, I have family that they may not have been rich, but they went into the hood with nice cars, chains and stuff like that, getting chain snatched. I have a brother, who got killed in the hood. I mean, it's not I don't want to sit there and figure out which snakes are poisonous. If I see there are snakes, I'm gonna just stay away. Now it doesn't, and I say that to say that obviously everyone in the hood, being in the hood doesn't make you bad, but it's an environment and a culture it's conducive towards being a certain way. So I think the days that it used to be, people used to try to make it out of the hood. That's what one of the themes of Boys in the Hood was, right? And Menace to Society, right?
Yeah, 50 Cent. Yeah. People who's in there, they want to get out. Like it's just too much stress. You have to worry about, who's trying to break into your mom's house because you got beef with somebody. Because there was a rumor today, which it was false, that somebody tried to shoot up Yo Gotti's mom's house in his store, but he got a restaurant out there. But I mean, it can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to worry about your family. You got to worry about your kids. The real gangsters can't have kids because something can happen to them. You know what I mean? So my question though is why black rappers always dying, but white rappers they don't never get shot. They have beef as well. Like Eminem had beef with some people. You had Machine Gun Kelly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we have to really think about that. Like why is it the fact that we won't, as African Americans, you won't shoot a white man, but you'll shoot somebody that look like you. You have so much hatred for somebody that looks like you. You know what I mean? Like you just messed up the bag, whoever did it. And if it had anything to do, any connection with another rapper, like y'all could have worked together. You know what I mean? Like if you look at there was a lot of assassinations in the '60s, obviously, but a lot of people partner up. Like if you partner up with somebody that you have beef with, because you'll see countries do it all the time. Like they'll go to war and kill millions of people, but they'll be civilized in a room making deals. Like if he would have did a record with, I don't know if he did or not. Anybody watching, y'all can let me know in the comments. But if Young Dolph would have did a video or something with Yo Gotti or the other guy he had beef with, they would have made so much money for their family. Like look at Jay-Z and Nas.
Yeah.
Like what they did, they partnered up and made a lot of money. I remember, I think they did I don't know, they didn't do a tour together, but I know they was on stage together. I know Nas came to one of his shows.
Yeah, even with Drake and Kanye, if you don't think they ain't about to hit the streets and the scene and collect all y'all's money, you fools. They squashed the beef. I don't think there was really any beef anyway, but who knows?
Right. I mean, people gonna eat off this, man. Like Alpo. Truth be told, we put Alpo on our channel, and we're getting crazy subscribers. Like it's just a shame that it happens, but the streets got to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like people eating off this. People gonna make so much money. The record label's gonna make money. The streamers, the YouTubers gonna make so much money off this man being killed.
Yeah, Swanee. Swanee G has said that it happened in broad daylight, no cameras. Now, that brings up another interesting point. Okay, I don't expect someone in the middle of a shooting to be able to pull their camera out or something of the sort, because the shock of it all, I don't think that's realistic. Now, hopefully, the store or some store across the street, there was surveillance somewhere. If not, then the satellites that they got up in the sky looking at us, they're able to see it. But the thing that bothers me is that whenever you go and ask the community for information, nobody says anything. Nobody knows anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah, they got a no snitching. Like I said, that's not no snitching stuff is for the gangsters. We're allowing these gangsters to take over the community. No one want to say anything about it. For real, if Black Lives Matter don't come out, which I know they're not, man, I don't want to hear nothing about white people killing black people. I don't want to hear it because everybody's silent on here. Everybody gonna make their money talking about this, but when a cop shoots a black person, everybody want to, Black Lives Matter. I don't want to hear it. This is the time when we should be fighting. We should be coming out because this guy had I think he had like 2 kids. He had a family. He was taking care of a lot of people. Anytime you have somebody who, first generation rich, they're taking care of a lot of people, and that just stopped. They just messed up the economy of that family. You know what I mean?
Well, real quick, speaking of Black Lives Matter, can you just enlarge this on the screen real quick? Let me know when it's up there. I don't know if everyone can see this. So Sean King, Talcum X himself, here is what he said. For anyone who can't see this, he said, "It's hard as hell to simply stay alive as a black man in America. No single group of people in the country are more likely to be murdered than black men under 40, from police violence to lynchings like Ahmaud or Trayvon to gun violence like this." Let me say something to you, Sean King. Number one, I don't know where you sit on the color spectrum. You're one of those, what's it called, like Black Anonymous or whatever. But to even mention those things are part of the problem. What in the heck does police violence, lynchings, Ahmaud Arbery, or Trayvon Martin have to do with this? Absolutely nothing. And, you see, I don't know if he's still affiliated with Black Lives Matter, but this is the type of stuff that they push to kind of, keep you in that mindset to where there's not going to be any major progress on this. I'll hear people say, I'm going to just take it off the screen, but I'll hear people, say things like, yeah, we do marches and we do prayer vigils and but you don't see that same level of energy, like remember they were burning down certain buildings, there were fires and things like that, they were shutting down the highways. That has never happened in regards to whenever it's community violence, or let me say the thing that now it's a bad word to say, black on black violence, because they don't want it to be put out there, but let's call it what it is. And for anyone who's sitting there saying it's crime within proximity, people try to say that all the time. Go look at the statistics, because you're probably one of those people that likes the CDC, right? Go onto the CDC and look at the number one cause of death for young black men. It's homicide. You know what the number one cause of death is for Hispanics and young white men and Hispanics? It's injuries, heart attacks. So it just says, but it just says there is a problem. And the bigger problem is that you have these groups that are always trying to divert the attention from actually dealing with what the real problem is. Let's say that every one of those police shootings, were unjustified. It is not close. It doesn't put a dent in the number of what we are doing to ourselves. And if you want to talk about some type of systemic oppression, or if you want to talk about systemic racism, whatever you want to call it, here's what I would say actually fits into those things. When you have a group of people in the government as well as organizations that are telling you that hey, it's okay to kill off your kids, and they're keeping it to where you're never going to grow your population to the other populations, because they're saying like, hey, don't worry about that, kill off your kids, it's cool, it's your body, it's your choice. Whenever you have a group of people that are telling you that it's okay to they're pushing welfare and saying, hey, that's for single parents, and that in the Black community usually single parents happen to be single mothers, unfortunately. So they have them pushing that stuff. It's another thing that ends up adding into the statistics when you're talking about low education scores, crime, and prison recidivism. And then finally, whenever you're about this same group of people, they usually are pushing a type of music that ends up influencing and encouraging this lifestyle. So if we're going to talk about some type of systemic oppression, let's talk about that stuff, because that's what's really affecting us.
Yeah, you can't. This is not going to stop anytime soon. I mean, we're a fallen world, and until people don't like to hear this, but until we accept the Most High, like they would say, but I say Jesus. If you ain't accepting them, it ain't gonna work, man. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, there's too many people just have so much hatred, so much ego. I like to say edging God out. When you're fighting over a territory that's not yours. I heard somebody on Facebook put you're fighting over housing authority owns it, and you're fighting over this little crappy block. And then you spend most of your time in jail. You come out, and the young kids took it over, and the young kids don't respect you. What you're saying. So then we always have these people. Oh yeah, we're going back in the communities and we're going to help out. Listen, if you're not fixing their home, it does not matter. Because when you have a hunger problem, that's one problem you're going to try to fix. That's it. You don't care about nothing else. You don't care about education. You don't care about nothing. You care about eating. And then when you eat, you care about your family eating. And if you see quick money, you're going to do it. It's just a never-ending cycle. We could blame who we want to blame about it, but there's got to be a point where we have to sacrifice. Like some people, we have to put. Some people just like to fight. Like we always think, oh, the hoods don't. There's some crazy people out here. I like to call them kamikaze people, who just don't care about their life, and so you can't reason with someone like that. You cannot reason with them.
Mm-hmm.
They will kill you and everybody else. Did you see what Alpo did? When he was with the he was with AZ. I don't know if y'all saw that movie, but we paid in full. But it was a real story. Dude had 14 bodies on him, and he snitched. He got out of jail years later, and he was going back to Harlem, and nobody touched him. And he made a good point. He was like, most of these people who used to gangbang back in the day, they care about their health. They care about, their family now. They got a family. They're not into this anymore. But these kids just spend so much time cutting up, and because they just like it. Like some people, you ever been around somebody who like that stuff? Like people go to the club just to fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this rush that they get. And there's you're not going to be able to stop it. I mean, some people say, I know, shout out to some people who's doing stuff in the community trying to help, but that's a lost cause, to be honest.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because like I can pull up a list of so many people got killed in their neighborhoods trying to help, like community organizers, not just rappers, community organizers, parents. I know kids getting shot in Chicago doing TikTok dances in their yard. I mean, in the house, and the stray bullet hit them in the crib. You had when George Floyd, no, Aubrey, when he first got killed, and there was rioting out there in Atlanta, and this family was trying to get food in the Wendy's. They were in the drive-through. They start shooting. One of the little 6-year-old girl got killed. Nobody out saying nothing, but when we say something, everybody got a problem with it.
Right.
That's you want to talk about systematic. That's systematic right there. If you don't care about if you talk about Black Lives Matter, then every Black lives should matter, and not just when a white person do it. So that just make me think that it's definitely political. It's definitely political.
Yep. And people will recite these stupid points. They'll say, well, those people are, they swore an oath to, protect and serve. Let me tell you something. If a cop, if a lawyer, if a bus driver or whatever, someone in the army swears an oath and, you feel that they did something they're not supposed to do, bonk that oath. And same thing, that's going on, when someone's dead, they're dead. It doesn't matter if someone swore an oath to protect or whatever, or if someone swore an oath to the streets. If you are dead, you are dead. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
The funeral costs the same amount. And in fact, I guess they might help out a little bit if you died from a homicide or something of the sort. But you usually have a mom that's going to be crying. Unfortunately, a lot of these young people that are getting killed, because even with Young Dolph, 36, we don't think of it like this, especially in the Black community. That is young. That's young. Mm-hmm. Anything under 50 is young. When Barack Obama was president, that was young. So we gotta look and readjust our mindsets to be able to envision us being able to go to these older ages. Because what we're really saying is that, hey, if you lucky to see 50, and that's sad if people are actually saying that.
Well, the problem that we are having is that it's jealousy. It's jealousy. Because I was reading Will Smith's book, and he talked about it. Now, first off, he said when he was when he got on the show with the Fresh Prince show, he went out there and he said all of a sudden he started getting calls to his manager, and it was from these thugs in LA. They were trying to extort him. So somebody finally got him on the phone, or not him, but his manager, and they said, "Look, man, I see Will Smith is out here making money in LA." He's like, "We need to talk. We need to meet, because you gotta pay us." And the manager was like, "Great, man, I'll pay you all day, but I can't do that. You gotta talk to the my boss or whatever." And he was like, "Okay, give me the number." He's like, "Well, write this down, FBI." And the dude hung up. But that's what these thugs do. I remember another thing he said in the book, Will Smith. He said when you're in Philly, he said you can kind of maneuver through the sewer, if you will. You can you know what bad areas there are because they're ran down, boarded up houses and stuff. To stay out. He said when you go to LA, shout out to anybody who ever go to LA, but I've never been. But he said in LA you don't know who's who because the hood looks nice. They have great green grass and stuff like that. He was like, people getting jacked during the day. They'll take your car during the day and shoot you during the day. So it's just a whole different environment. And I remember Suge Knight was doing this. That's how he started Death Row, allegedly. He ran down on Vanilla Ice and made him sign a contract, and that's what they do. That's their hustle up there, and no one talks about it. You can't even control that. I remember Trick was doing that with Rick Ross and anybody else who go to Detroit. You can't, as a rapper. I think rappers have the most dangerous job, because they have to pretend that they're rich. A lot of them's not rich. You know, they have to pretend they got money, and then when they do shows, they got to go to you're rapping about hood stuff, so you have to go to your customer base, and there might be some rinky-dink club with the rinky-dink promoter,
Right.
and you don't even know nothing better let alone the sound check, and then you got to go to the club after. And and one thing I do know, because I know in Pittsburgh, a lot of people got robbed. A lot of people got robbed, um, like rappers, is because these gangbangers they have the whole city. They got all the women, right? It's like a 80-20 rule. So when you see somebody like Jim Jones come in and the women ain't paying attention to them dudes get jealous and they try to see if they're tough because they talking all this crap. Real quick, I see you, Jimmy, in the queue. Hold on one second. But I wanted to show this list of murders since '87. It started decreasing with, if you notice, when gangster rap came about. But look, Scott LaRock, he died in what 1987 in his hood. These are all people who died in their hood. Well, Tupac, he died in Vegas. He jumped on a Crip. That's what happened with that. But you got Biggie Smalls, you got Big L. Do you remember Jam Master Jay? Soldier Slim died in his neighborhood in New Orleans. Mac Dre, that hit people hard. Proof, remember Proof off of Eminem's Boy?
Detroit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dollar. Now all these other rappers I don't even know, but I know Bankroll Fresh in Atlanta. That was a big deal. What's the XXX extension? Whatever you say his name, he died. Jimmy Wapo for Pittsburgh. Shout out to him. You see Nipsey Hussle trying to help out the neighborhood. Pop Smoke, that was another one, and that was what, last year.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Pop Smoke, I think he got robbed. Wasn't he at like an Airbnb or something? And he must have posted where he was at, and they came in there and killed him. King Vaughn, which Swanee said his homie did it, or one of the homies. Mo 3 was messing with a chick, and they followed him and shot him on the highway. He was age 28. So like you're right. Like look at these ages, man.
Sad. It is so sad. I mean, these are people who have barely gotten to live life.
There's one person over 40 I see on this list.
Wow.
Hold on one second. I want to play it real quick before Jimmy. I get you. I'm gonna play this video, then we can get Jimmy on. Then we can wrap up. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Hold on one second. I'm gonna play this video real quick.
Yeah, but it's sad. 40 years old. That is definitely young.
The name Young Dolph after his first few releases failed to catch on, rapping under the name Lil Hitler.
The most famous Adolf, not the most
Jewish,
popular.
so he's thinking about Adolf Hitler.
I don't think you just have to be Jewish to think Adolf Hitler.
We ain't even. He in the past. We ain't.
So
got,
you don't. So that wasn't a thing that you ever came up really.
But he is lucky for having such a unique name, and actually, Young Dolph is America's third favorite Dolph, right after Dolph Lundgren and Dolph from The Simpsons. Dolph had a tough upbringing in Memphis, Tennessee, and in his raps, he often narrated the hard time that he had growing up, including the fact that both of his parents were crackheads, which does kind of explain why they named their son Adolf. In 2008, he nearly died in a car accident, which he described as the wake-up.
I want to show when
to start taking music
that
seriously.
beef started with
And he's
Yo
also
Gotti.
lucky in that his near black youngster.
Somebody correct me.
passed through the
I listened to
press
a couple of
clubs
songs, but I
about
ain't really a fan.
on speaking terms.
Okay, so have you and Yo Gotti had a conversation lately? Have you guys nothing? And you're not interested in having that conversation?
It ain't no pressure with me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like people don't understand. Like everybody on the outside looking in. Yo Gotti was texting my phone for 2 years straight. What you doing, bro? What you working on, bro? Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do that. Like, it's cool. It's cool. Now, we ain't had no conversation, but if you wanted to, you know what's up. You can call me or call somebody around me, get in touch with me, but, I'm going to keep doing what I do, regardless. You know what I'm saying?
And it ain't no problem.
It ain't no problem, but it's different, though. He ain't, when you know, when somebody like this right here, you know what I mean? It's just like everybody else then came in contact with me, like, Dolph, come on, let's do this, bro. Let's put together a joint venture. Let me sign you. Let's do that. And I'd be like, no, I rock with you, but I can't do that. But we still cool. We still doing music. We still kicking. We still doing whatever.
Now, the following month, Yo Gotti's CMG artist and serial Twix thief, Black Youngster.
Here, my brother. We gonna keep you out of trouble, man.
Okay,
Here,
yeah, appreciate that.
There you go, Twix for you.
I'm gonna steal the rest of them now. I got to.
Decides to throw his hat into the beef officially, calling out Dolph for his King of Memphis claims and going on Instagram and saying that he's going to slap the shit out of him.
Hey, man, I'm gonna keep this shit G, bro. Dolph, you a bitch. You a soft ass nigga. You nice ass nigga. If you got a problem, nigga, say you got a problem. Shake ass, bitch ass nigga. Ain't no motherfucking king of Memphis. You ain't king of South Memphis. You ain't from the city, bitch.
Now, this video was amazing for two reasons. One, Black Youngster is straight raw dog in this bottle of lean, no cup. And secondly, he's wearing a Lamborghini jacket, which just reminds me of that episode of Friends where Joey pretends to have a Porsche. However, Black Youngster is one step ahead and he goes on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make no noise. Right. You see, it ain't make no noise until Dolph just put this song out. Right. You see what I'm saying? He made his artist bring up Dolph's name and tie Dolph's name to his name, right? That's when everybody got, him, such and such. Nobody never knew him. How did he get it first? How did Yo Gotti get popped and get some attention? Nobody heard of him to win till he did 3-6 Mafia.
2 days later, Dolph elaborated further and suggested on DJ Holiday's show that he believed Yo Gotti was sneak dissing him on his previous tapes, The Art of the Hustle and Cocaine Music 9.
And they played. So his last 2 mixtapes, he's trying to slick this Dolph.
Now, here's where the timeline gets a little bit messed up because a lot of people out there have reported that Yo Gotti responded to this Play With Your Bitch song with his own song called Don't Beef With Me. A lot of people have speculated that this on screen and basically cry about the fact that his baby mama is hanging out with Young Dolph. It's some savagery. Also in the video, Young Dolph gets one of the most comically bad massages I've ever seen. He recreates some pretty hilarious.
Trying to get the part when he got his vehicle got shot up.
To start at the Spectrum Center. Reports started coming out that Dolph was the target of this shooting, but luckily nobody was hurt because he was being driven in a $300,000 bulletproof GMC Yukon XL SUV. Nice. I gotta say, that must be the one time that you're happy that the guy at the Hertz rent-a-car desk upsold you an optional extra. Charlotte Mecklenburg Police said that they were exploring the possibility that music video drop was the same day that Young Dolph's convoy was shot up 100 times in North Carolina. This went down during the CIAA college ball tournament, where Young Dolph was actually in the city of Charlotte, supposedly to perform at an unofficial after party at the Cameo nightclub. The official police statement says that around 6:30 p.m. on 600 block North Caldwell Street, several dozen rounds were fired from high-powered weapons at multiple vehicles, hitting them indiscriminately only 30 minutes before the final game of the CIAA tournament was scheduled to start at the Spectrum Center. Reports started coming out that Dolph was the target of this shooting. But
yeah.
Wow. 100 shots.
They trying to take that brother out.
I mean, wow. Only person I ever seen get shot up at like that was Nick Fury.
That was a dope scene too.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Captain America. All right, let's get the callers going and then we kind of wrap up.
Cool. Get Jimmy on real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
Jimmy X.
Man, it look like it's dangerous to rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way these brothers getting shot up, I don't even want to read Green Eggs and Ham out loud, dog. That's Sam I am. That's Sam I am. Say what? Nothing, brother. Nothing. It's a nursery rhyme.
Man, what you want to rap about? No pun intended.
I just think the rap game would be so much better if they could get together and decide not to be violent and tell each other it's pretend. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like drama. But they need to get together ahead of time and say, okay, I'm finna beef you for the sales, for the heat. But it ain't real. But see, these young guys, they're so young, you know, our people ain't got hardly no esteem. All we got is our little respect. You know, when we feel like somebody step on that, we got to go to the further extent. Try to take their life. That ain't nothing to take nobody's life over. None of that is.
So why ain't R&B singers getting beef like Johnny Gill and Keith Sweat? Like you took my
beef, But they didn't set. They just settled it. They had a drink, talked about it, or they got into a little fist fight, and it was over with.
Well,
They
well,
didn't tell.
well,
Go
this
ahead.
is actually half in, half out. I think about Soldier Boy, whom unfortunately he had beef with Young Dolph also, but Soldier Boy and Chris Brown, they were about the box.
That's how you handle it.
Yeah.
But it's like we always say, ain't no men in the home. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know how to handle. If the man, look, we ain't gotta involve. We ain't gotta get no guns. We ain't gotta get no knives. Now, when I see you, I'm gonna see you. If you acting crazy, I'm gonna beat your ass. Period. And if you don't think you can beat me, whatever, then let's do it. Let's settle it that way.
Man, Michael and Prince had beef. Why didn't they fight it out, man?
They did fight it out on the top of the charts, baby.
No. Because Michael embarrassed Prince, man. When what was that? When James Brown was on tour. Remember that?
Yeah.
Talk about that. You remember it?
I just saw that thing when they had a thing with James Brown and Michael Jackson was there. Prince came in on somebody's back though. You remember that part? Because he's so short. Yeah, man. They both. I mean, it's just a different time. I don't understand
Hey,
rap beef.
but let's get back to Michael. So you remember Michael? He wanted to do that bad video, and he wanted Prince to be like the one to be like, "Yo, bud is mine." Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
We gotta pull that up. Go ahead, man. I'm listening, man. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Well, Prince had to look out for his reputation. He couldn't say nothing that was quasi gay because he was right on the razor's edge all the time. You know what I'm saying? Back in that day, he couldn't say that. So
now, what do you think about Jimmy? Rappers or anyone that makes it that comes from the hood and going back to the hood, you think they should go back?
No. For what?
Well, why not?
Okay, the hood is a place where people live that can't live anywhere else. If you made it, that means you have the ability to live somewhere else. People don't say I'm going to the. People don't say I'm going to get up and go to the hood. That's just where they are because of circumstance.
But we all have family there. So remember, like 50 Cent, he'll come down to see his grandfather on I know he said he comes on the 24th, not the 25th. But we all have family there. So what you say about that? You should not go back.
I don't have any family there. My grandmother lived in a bad neighborhood and she moved in with my aunt. Period. You know what I'm saying? If you made it, you ought to have enough room to let your people make it too.
Even if they steal?
Huh?
Some family members steal, don't they?
Well, if them the ones can't go with you, everybody can't go.
Now, Jimmy, one last question. What do you say to, like, there are a lot of people that would say you should come back and build up your hood. What do you say to that?
No, I'm gonna go somewhere that's already built up. I'm not. Why am I gonna throw my pearls to swine?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yeah. Why I'm gonna do that? What am I gonna build? What do you mean build? It's not my hood. My people don't own property there. They renters. They live there because they can't live nowhere else.
Hey, for the people who's listening, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and also that notification bell, and just let you know Jimmy X is white. Good.
Yeah, man. I want to take my people out of the hood.
He Caucasian.
You know what I'm saying? Don't accuse me of being Caucasian, man. Yeah, man. I want to get my people out. And maybe give my people, if I'm rich, right? Let me give my people that I can't support just outright. Let me get them a high paying job. Let me hire them. You see what I'm saying?
Jimmy X is
And
R&B singer with a Jerry curl. Don't trust what he say. Get that Jerry curl up, Jimmy.
Man, I don't believe in Jerry curls, man.
You don't got the mullet?
No, man.
Juice ain't loose, huh?
With the ball spot?
With the balls. Oh, man.
Give it up, bro.
Jerry curl with a ball spot. That's like snake skin in the club, man. Don't wear it.
With the shiny shoes that curl up at the toe, huh?
That's right. And the taco meat with the gold chain.
with that being said, we're gonna hit the next caller. But before you go, we gotta play this clip real quick, man. Hold on 1 second, Ray. Hold on. Yeah. Let me see. Oh man, you sure did look like that, Jimmy. Force MD, cuz. Jimmy. Hold on 1 second, but let me get back on track here.
H, we see you in the queue. About to get you on in a second.
Yeah, real quick. This is how you should real beef. This is the real beef right here. This is how you do it. Let me pull that up.
There was never like any rivalry between you and Mr. Jackson.
Oh, not to me, no.
Okay. So I love the story of you. You know, there's all these Prince. I'm sorry. That's the guy you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's the story of you turning down Bad.
Well, you know, that Wesley Snipes character, that would have been me. All right, now you run that video in your mind. The first line of that song is "Your butt is mine." Now, you gonna sing that to whom? Because you sure ain't singing it to me. And I sure ain't singing it to you. So right there we got a problem.
Stay woke. Let me get out of here.
Man, that boy sold 12.5 million of them things, man.
Stay woke. All right, man. We're gonna hit the next caller, man. We appreciate you calling in.
All right. Not X. We got H.
Hello. Can you hear me?
What's cracking?
What's going on? So, I just want to respond to the last caller, and I just want to state my opinion on why I think a lot of rappers are getting killed. So, a lot of rappers still have one foot in the streets and one foot in the industry. Like Jimmy Wapo, for example, from what I hear, from what I read, he was a hillside terror. Like he was shooting people, killing people, and that karma came back to him. And I'm not saying that happened to Young Dolph, but that's what's happening to a lot of our rappers. So, I mean, had Jimmy Wapo been on tour, like that wouldn't have came to him like that. And in response to the last caller, there's always the question, should you build your hood up? And he said that something about swine, just go somewhere else. Well, in Nipsey Hussle's hood, a lot of people want to be there. They own their homes. So they're $1 million homes and they're nice. So a lot of people choose to be there. But sometimes you just got to love your people from a distance. So I feel that Nipsey Hussle could have still had his store, but maybe not just, be there all the time or been there with security. You know what I mean? Because overall, he was loved in his hood by the 60s rival gangs, the Inglewood family, the Hoovers. Everybody loved him. It was just one crackhead. The dude was literally a drug addict that killed him. So had he had security with him or security at the store, he'd still be alive. So you could still, build up your community, just be cautious. That's my thoughts.
Well, you brought up an interesting point, and we kind of alluded to that earlier, that over in California, the hoods are different, and you had said that a lot of them are homeowners. And the way that people treat their areas, whether they gangster or not, if you're a homeowner, you're going to treat a whole lot different. There ain't going to be trash, all over the place. You're going to keep the lawn mowed and all that stuff. It's a sense of pride. And I think that it's a little bit different than, let's say, if you go to Detroit,
Okay. Well, here's the thing. And even in LA, you have your slums, you have your ran down neighborhoods, right?
Okay.
And even in Detroit and Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, you still have nice black communities. But if you have someone there that's showing example on how to treat the community, then others are going to follow their lead. Like, for example, Nipsey Hussle, Crenshaw and Slauson, like a lot of buildings are ran down, but in his death, he encouraged a lot of black people to buy up their stores and to start up businesses. And that's what's going on out there. So you can have a messed up neighborhood, but if you have someone that stays there and leads by example, that maybe has security or loves the neighborhood from a distance, like you still love family from a distance, you can set the example and change that neighborhood and change people's mindsets. So I don't think it's responsible to paint a broad brush on people and just say, F them, I'm leaving, I'm going somewhere else. Because if you do that, then everyone with talent is going to leave the hood, and it's always going to be the hood. And that's the problem we have.
Is this Sean on the phone?
That's.
I think Sean called you, Will.
Oh man, no, Sean, he over there with his millions. He don't care. He crying in his $1 million bed with money all over.
Man, that's good stuff. Did you don't mind me asking? Do you stay in the neighborhood you grew up in?
No, well, I was in a military child, so I lived everywhere. I lived in California, Pennsylvania, Hawaii. So I don't really have a hometown, but I do go back to certain areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting the heck out of there. Let me tell you something, man. I watch it on YouTube or something when they what's up? I ain't going back.
But I think honestly, Young Dolph was still in the streets. I mean, I'm not trying to, judge the dead, but just showing guns and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like he was he doing anything positive? I mean, that karma comes back to you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z ain't getting shot. Who else? Like your upper echelon rappers that still invest in the hood, they're not getting shot because they're not in the streets. Kanye West.
It's a good point.
But
like Big L.
But your rappers that still involved in that lifestyle are the ones getting shot.
You are so right about that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Soldier Slim is another one. He was still in the hood.
Soldier Slim had a lot of bodies, man. He killed a lot of people.
Man.
Yeah. He was a shooter. And like you're signed with no limit. So why you're making millions? Why are you still doing this stuff? So
Beanie Siegel almost got killed. Remember that?
But he was in the streets too.
Yeah, you're right. There's a little theme going on here.
Yeah,
he was out there banging.
They better take the Jay-Z playing.
Tupac was banging.
Yeah, Tupac had no business beating the Crip up. You know what I mean? You got the #1 record, and you're gonna fight, roll with Bloods, and beat up a Crip, and then they don't care if you're a rapper or not. They're gonna shoot you. That's just the lifestyle in LA. Like they don't care who you are. If you, it's all about retaliation, revenge, and get back. If you violate someone, they're gonna get after you, no matter who you are. So had Tupac not beaten Orlando Anderson up, he'd still be here, and he had no business, communicating with someone lower than him. So,
man, good stuff, man. Wait, go ahead. Would you want to say something?
No, that's it.
We appreciate it, man. You want to say anything? Last comments or anything before we wrap up?
I just appreciate the show. Keep doing what you're doing. Peace.
Appreciate that.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was good. That was a good take on it, man. These dudes are still in these streets, but I believe them.
It's good to get a perspective. People who, a lot of people don't travel. One thing they was talking about being a military kid. Those people, they get to see different places. Which I always think that's a benefit. Also, I think that if a lot of people who are in these different hoods had a chance to actually, because I didn't travel till I was like, other than like Ohio, to Cedar Point and stuff like that. I didn't go anywhere till I was like 23. I didn't know the ease of flying on an airplane or driving somewhere, but I think that is a big thing, and that's why shout out to, and we'll have him on the show, I believe in December. King Randall, what he's doing with those at-risk youth is he's actually taking them all over. Like he's taking them up to New York. He's taking them. They're learning about how to change oil, how to fix things. So he's doing some things, but he's taking them out of their comfort settings. So those kids will always remember, like, man, I remember when we went to Michigan. I remember when we went to New York. I remember when we went to Texas. These are Georgia boys from Albany, Georgia, small town. And they'll never actually forget that. So I think that's definitely huge.
Yeah, I mean it's huge, but like I said, shout out to Swanee saying people need to stop playing God and start serving God. I totally agree with that. I think the culture is just too strong, man. The ghetto culture is attractive. Like people want to, twerk on social media and tote guns, and it's just too big. It's too big. I lived in Detroit, well, close to Detroit. I stayed out of Detroit because that's what everybody told me to do. It's just a lot of places just run down, and it's just if we don't. And this is my opinion, but first off, it's a money issue, because if you're a single parent, you're going to go to where you can afford, which is the slums. You know what I mean? You're going, and it's just a cycle there because usually if you're in the slums, that means you have a bad school. The kids are getting bullied. So when the kids are getting bullied, they're going to try to get on the wrong side of town because they're going to get the protection there. The same way when you're in jail. When you get locked up, you have to align with somebody for safety reasons. You know what I mean? So it all starts with the parents. I was looking at Will Smith. Funny thing, man, I was saying on social media, I didn't know he was from Homewood. Not him, but his mother's from Homewood, and she moved to Philly. But Will Smith had two parents, and they both worked. So therefore, he went to the best schools in the 70s. He lived in a decent neighborhood. He said he didn't see he didn't go to a black school till he was like 14, 15. And as soon as he went to the black school, he got bullied. Like Will Smith said his first day at school, you might as well say he kind of started it, but this one dude, Will Smith went on the table, and he was like, he just stopped everybody from talking. He was like, I'm here, basically. He showed everybody he was there, and then this kid came over there and told him to shut up. So Will said something smart to him. So the dude went and took one of them locks on the locker and put it on his knuckle and cracked him in his head, and he knocked out his teeth, and he basically was unconscious, and they sent this kid to jail. You know what I'm saying? But that's just like the nature of ghettos. I remember going into East Junior High, and we had this new student, and they beat this dude up every time he got off suspension. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? Either you're going to join them, or you're going to try to kill one of them, right? And I saw this happen all the time, and so I don't know, man. I mean, I hear what you're saying. They could see other things, but I remember this one lady.
I'm not saying it's going to stop it. I'm just saying that it puts a little bit more of a seed of something else, so to say. Just like if someone doesn't have a job or whatever, or if someone's never had any influence from church or whatever, like doing something different. But I agree with what you're saying.
You remember Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson went up to Customano's house and he started robbing them. That's just the nature. He was like, I'm from Brownsville, So I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I mean, this is going to happen all the time, man. I just feel like
But to
we need
my
to really focus on our house, huh?
Mike Tyson is probably, outside of mess with the mushrooms, he's, probably one of the sharpest minds.
He said he should have been dead. They protected him because he was the money maker.
Mm-hmm.
He should have been dead like the rest of his friends.
Mm-hmm. But he wouldn't have been reading those books, otherwise.
He's repenting. If you notice right now, he's repenting for the stuff he did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I hear what you're saying. But I mean, the good thing is his house is good. Like he's with his wife. He's raising his kids. He's out the hood.
Right. I mean, for those who didn't hear earlier, this is my 3-point list of what I say is the system. The system promotes single parenthood, which usually results in single mothers. The system promotes keeping the population a lower amount, whether it's through the abortion or whether it's through supporting the inability for us to be able to multiply. So, for example, like the LGBT stuff, hey, you guys can do what you want to do, but you cannot multiply. Third point is that the system actually supports, bad music that's supporting for people to be able to do, bad things harmful to each other, whether it's drugs or violence. So that's my 3 points as far as what I see that's going on that's actually keeping us down.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can't say nothing to that, man. So I guess we could end it. And the show was a good show. Definitely let me pull up the banner real quick. One of our sponsors. Hold on. Play it's very, very good. Check out one of our sponsors, afjcworldwide.com. That is afjcworldwide.com for our latest apparel, homeware, and drinkware. Definitely get a shirt for your husband, wife, doesn't matter. Again, check out afjcworldwide.com. Right. And if you want to support the channel, definitely we appreciate the support. If you want us to continue this show, definitely hit us up. TNJRadio. We appreciate all the people who support. We had a really good show last week, man. If you go on our YouTube page and hit the archives, we was talking about what CRT last week.
Yeah.
With special guests.
Yeah, a special guest who's been he's been making the rounds, been on Fox News, been on
The Blaze.
Yeah, The Blaze. A lot of pretty popular channels, but decided to take some time to talk with us. So definitely go back, listen to it. It says on there our kids are under attack or something like that. I think that's the title of the show. But last Wednesday.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of break them down a little bit too for the people who's on there. We appreciate you also watching our videos, man. We're getting a lot of buzz on that. You out there killing it with the videos, man, in the car, huh? Driving with wheel, huh?
Yeah. Y'all be hearing my turn signals. I'd be like click, 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 click. But I do put my seatbelt on. So y'all don't hear gotta hear that.
You do your best work in there, man. But yeah, we appreciate you supporting the channel, man. And definitely, like I said, share it with somebody. Like it, and we are out.
Peace. Oops. Peace.